Let's take care of the small things first and get one thing straight right out of the gate. This is not a repetition of the Lesson 0 moral. At most, it's an application of the lesson that Twilight learned in that episode. This being that upon seeing her friends in a state of panic, she takes the situation seriously and does what she can to help her friends resolve the situation. If this had been a repeat of Lesson 0, Twilight would have brushed off her friends' fears and let them continue to escalate the problem until they brought the entire castle down on their own heads. Furthermore, Lesson 0 was about the importance of watching out for your friends and helping them through their times of worry, even though the problem seems trivial, because we never know how big the situation really is. Similar to Castlemania, even the small worries can get out of hand if not properly addressed. However, this aspect of Castlemania's friendship lesson was more about addressing the small issues before they become large ones, as well as being there to comfort each other through those times of uncertainty, which is when we are most likely to let our imaginations get the better of us and end up in situations like this or the ending of Lesson 0. While all of these things are certainly something that can be taken away from the episode, they're not the final moral of the story. This one's actually quite simple. Understand history or learn from those who came before you and apply that knowledge to the challenges that you face in the present tense. Throughout the episode, Fluttershy, Rarity, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash let superstition, paranoia, and short-sighted vanity cloud their perception of what was going on around them. Twilight wasn't afraid because she understood exactly what was going on in the castle, so when she finally heard the organ to the outside being played, all she had to do was find out who was playing it. I've stated before that by seeking the knowledge of those who have gone before me, I have avoided many issues that most other people deal with. By heeding the typical coming-of-age advices from my guardians, I knew how to avoid putting myself in unnecessarily harmful situations. Likewise, during the times I found myself in trouble due to circumstances beyond my control, it was thanks to the knowledge that I had procured from them that I was able to defuse the situation and get most other people involved out safely. Even to this day, when I find myself unsure of what to do, I find the closest people in my life that have been there before and ask them for advice. This can apply on a bigger scope of understanding history in general. After all, those who don't know their history are destined to repeat it. So imagine if it had been Twilight that got caught in the trapdoors and rotating walls of the castle. She probably would not have allowed herself to be frightened by them beyond the initial startle. That is, if she allowed herself to get caught in them in the first place, because sometimes knowing that these things are there make them a lot easier to avoid, whereas the others who didn't know the full history of the castle experienced the full effect. That being said, this lesson was slightly misapplied in the episode itself. It's there, but this type of lesson is best applied when everyone had the chance to know the full history and chose to ignore it regardless. I can't fault the rest of the group here because Twilight was the only one who happened to stumble on a book that explained the castle's inner mechanisms. Overall, it's important to be there for those you care about in times of uncertainty rather than downplay their fears or attempt to egg each other on. It's also important to know the situation you're entering before you enter it. Then, once there, applying what you have learned from history or from those who have learned how to handle a situation by experiencing it before you will help you diminish that uncertainty and move forward in the right direction with increased accuracy. But if you happen to find yourself in a scary spot and don't have these resources, do your best to stay calm and solve the problem rationally. And that's the moral of the story. If you have a topic you would like to hear discussed, or if you have an episode, fanfiction, product, or anything else you would like to hear reviewed, send me a YouTube message or leave a comment below. You can also drop comments, questions, topic suggestions, and review suggestions by liking Brony Debates on Facebook, following on Twitter, or sending an email to bronydebates@yahoo.com. Have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.